So this is a setup for studying the Klystron mount characteristics. You will be having a Klystron power supply, Klystron mount tube, isolator, variable attenuator, followed by frequency meter, and through a BNC cable we have connected to a CRO for taking the waveforms. And before turning on the power supply, you should be aware of certain precautions that you should take in order to avoid the damage of the device. So here the beam voltage knob should be in the extreme anti-clockwise direction, that is, it should be kept minimum, and the repeller voltage should be kept maximum, and the frequency and amplitude of AM FM knobs should be kept in the mid position, and we have selected the AM knob in the modulation scheme. Now turn on the device, and after that heater tube can be turned on. So this cooling fan is also turned on in order to cool the Klystron mount tube. So while changing the value of beam voltage, we should make sure that the current value or the current reading in the meter select is not going above 30 milliamps. Now it's 10 milliamps. And while changing the beam voltage, we should make sure that the beam current is not going above 30 milliampere. Now we have kept the beam voltage as 296 something. Now the repeller voltage, its maximum value is in the negative direction, 264. Now it's been changed to around 230 250 range, and so that we can see a waveform on the CRO. Now we can observe a square wave on the CRO, and by varying the repeller voltage you can see the different modes also. If you have kept the mode selector switch in the FM mode, you could have got a sawtooth wave on the CRO. Now by reducing the repeller voltage, you can see the different modes, that is, you can observe the dip in the waveforms. So there you can see the dip in the square waveform. Now in order to attain the frequency measurement, you can rotate the frequency meter and observe the dip on the CRO. A dip is actually a reduction in the amplitude value of the waveform seen on the CRO. So it should be precisely taken, that is, the frequency value has to be precisely noted. And on the frequency meter, the values will be in the gigahertz range. As you know that for the educational purposes, we will be using X band, that is, its range will be from 8 gigahertz to 12 gigahertz. And the frequency meter readings has to be taken in the gigahertz range. So now we can see a dip in the square waveform. Yeah, that's a dip, and the maximum dip will be obtained at a particular point, and that frequency value will be taken from the frequency meter. You can see the two horizontal lines and the vertical red line here that intersects at 9.245. So that will be the frequency value, that is around 9.245 gigahertz. So in the mode select switch, if you have selected a FM, and then you would have obtained a sawtooth waveform instead of this square waveform. So from this output, that is from this output on the CRO, you can measure the voltage value, and you can obtain the power by multiplying this voltage value with the beam current. You will get the output power, and a graph related to the output power and the repeller voltage can also be plotted. And the frequency can also be noted from the frequency meter.